The year 2024 is almost over. We've only got like 2 weeks left. And so today, I just want to tell you some of the biggest lessons I have learned this year, because there have been a lot, bro, but I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you the top 4 lessons that I have learned this year. So stick around, watch till the end, and I hope you get some value from this. And the number 1 lesson I have learned is just because you have options doesn't mean you should date somebody. So if you were an original subscriber, you might remember that I got into a relationship at the beginning of the year. And this person was a very good person, by the way, but just not compatible with me. Like, I coped and said like, oh, high quality, like might as well go for it. But there were just a few things that just we didn't align with. And so I thought that, oh, not a big deal, like, oh well, guys, but it didn't really work. It just never did. And so it ended pretty badly. So just because you can pull somebody, just because you can get into a relationship, doesn't mean you should. And especially when you're young, bro, like especially when you're young. When you're young, you should really be very careful with who you choose, because for me personally, I'm dating to marry. Like, I'm not going to just date around for fun and hook up, nothing like that. Like, I date to marry, so I need to have high standards. And especially when you're young, because if you don't have standards when you're young, you're just going to end up with the wrong person and waste time. And that's exactly what happened to me. I wasted so much time and energy and wasted a good person's heart because we just weren't compatible. And that brings us to lesson number 2. You are the most important person in your life, no matter what. So this also brings up another story of women, basically. So in the summer, I was talking to somebody, pretty good person as well, but I put her on the highest pedestal and I valued her more than myself. And my channel suffered, my business suffered, my fitness suffered, because all I was thinking about was her. And she became the priority, basically, and we weren't even dating, like nothing ever happened. But I started valuing her more than myself. And when things started to crash and burn, I didn't have anything. I lost myself and I lost my self-worth. I went away from religion, and it was not a good period in my life. But I'm grateful it happened, because it taught me a very valuable lesson, which is this one. And that is to always focus on yourself. So afterwards, I started valuing myself again. I started working on the channel. I started working out again and became very purposeful for a little bit. And this taught me that even if you like somebody, even if you love somebody, you still need to value yourself more than the other person. And the reason is because if you don't value yourself, you're disrespecting the other person anyway, because you're not bringing the best version of yourself to them. So even if you like somebody very much, you can't value them more than yourself. You have to always have that base. You always have to have who you are, because otherwise it's going to crash and burn. And so that brings us to lesson number 3, which is always focus on God. And so this summer, I basically fell into this trap of the red pill, and thought that, oh, I don't need religion right now. Like, I can come back to religion later in life. Like, no big deal. I'll just have some fun right now. That was the worst period of my life. I was so utterly unfulfilled and miserable because I was chasing the world and not chasing God. And when you chase the world, yeah, like the highs are good, but the lows are terrible, bro. Like, they feel so bad. But when you have God, the lows, you know they're for a reason. You know that you're going to be okay. But when I hit a low point this summer, when I was not religious at all, I had nothing. I had no one, and I was lost. But that's when I found God again. I started praying every day, and God answered some of my prayers, and I felt good again. And most importantly, I just developed a relationship with God. And so when I did that, I knew I would be okay. I knew that everything, all the suffering was for a reason. And so you need to find a relationship with God. I don't know what religion you are, whatever you are, just please start praying again. Find God again. And if you're atheist, I guess this lesson doesn't really apply to you, but please I was so lost, bro. And honestly, it makes me sad, like, looking back, how lost I was. But now I'm a lot better, bro. And so you just need to find God again. And the last lesson I have for you today is you cannot have both lives. You cannot be degenerate and work on a business and have a growth mindset. You can't do that. It just doesn't work. You can't go out and party and then the next day go to church and still feel fulfilled. Because again, back in the summer, bro, most of my lessons came from this summer. Like, this summer was wild. And so I was trying to go out every night, hang out with friends, and then as well work on this channel and be a fulfilled person with an amazing life. First off, those friends were not real friends. They're degenerates. And because of that, I became more degenerate, but I was trying to balance the life. I was like, oh, well, I can go out one night and then the next day just focus on business. It doesn't work like that. You have to either be growing or being degenerate. There's no in between. From what I've realized, you can't be sinning and be a saint. That's just a religion example. Like, you can't do that. It just does not work. I tried it, and you will not feel fulfilled. Even if you think it's like, oh, it seems nice. No, it's not nice. Like, you will be miserable. So you're going to have to choose whether if you want to be growing or decaying. It's up to you, but I hope I've inspired you to focus on the growth path, the growth mindset. So these are just a few of many lessons I've learned this year, and I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got some value from it. So if you want to connect with me and other men on self-improvement, join my Discord. It's completely free, and I want to go onto calls and all of these good things. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, join the Discord, and I will see you in the next one.